Hello fellow aviators and aviation enthusiasts, and welcome back to Triple Tree Aviation.
Alright, mixture is full ridge, carb heat is in, we are trimmed for takeoff. We're going to 1700 RPM.
So here we're starting a standard run-up for a Cessna 150.
Mag check, first mag. Good. Both mags. Good. Carb heat. Good. Throttle to idle. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Carb heat in. Back to 1,000. Alright. Check vacuum real quick. Vacuum is good. Alright, now. Pilot Country traffic says 60333, departing runway 36, Pilot Country. They're clear on final.
So I wanted to add some commentary to this flight as I'm taking my daughter up. She's visiting from college and wanted to go up for a short flight before she headed back.
I'll move. Lined up. And full power.
Now, as I was watching the footage back, I noticed a couple of things, and I wanted to bring it to your attention, see if you noticed too. Here's the first small mistake I made.
Airspeed is alive. A 40. 50, nose wheel up.
Now you notice the yoke is turned into the wind.
And rotating.
But as I rotated, I didn't necessarily take the turn of the yoke that was in there for the crosswind correction out, which made me drift off just slightly right of the runway. We did have a crosswind coming in from the east that was about a 6 to 7 knot direct crosswind, but it wasn't too awful bad.
And Pilot Country traffic, Cessna 60333, departing to the east, Pilot Country.
Bell traffic, Echo is entering left downwind runway, Bell traffic. 85 Juliet, are you up?
So the mission of today's flight was going to be to head to Zephyrhills Airport from Pilot Country Airport, which is about a 10 to 15 minute flight. But unfortunately, we did have to halt the flight due to some precipitation that was coming in the area.
Oil pressure is in the green, oil temps on the rise.
Cherokee 550, uniform to north, and left downwind 10, full stop, over.
We're at 600 feet. I'll hand the controls over when we're at 1,000, okay?
Traffic, White Skyhawk November 290, Pop Echo. We're now joining the right downwind for runway 9.
So before we took off Pilot Country, we did check the weather, and the weather did say that there were showers in the vicinity, but the clouds looked pretty clear. Even though we had a pretty structured layer above us, it didn't look like anything was going to break, so we decided to go ahead and depart anyway.
Everything looks good. Don't have any other airplanes with us at the moment.
And when we did take off, there was no precipitation, but we did plan to abort the flight if we did experience any.
Black traffic, White Skyhawk 290, Pop Echoes, midfield right now for runway 9 black.
There's 1,000. We're going to go to 1,500 feet. We'll just let it climb on out. Let me get to altitude, then I'll hand it over. Actually a pretty nice day.
So again, the plan was just to take my daughter up, give her the controls for a little while, because she is in fact an aspiring pilot. When she decided to go to college, she was going to go to college for commercial piloting, but You know, we decided because we own an airplane that it would probably be beneficial for her to go the private route and just kind of get her first ratings with our little airplane. It might save her a bunch of money, and from people that we've talked to who went to college for aviation, they said that'd probably be the best approach for her to do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
All right, we'll start leveling off. Trim it.
Flex traffic, white stock, 290, Pop Echo is current base for runway 9 flex.
So we're going to bring this down to about 2400 RPM.
Alright, County traffic, Regan Skelly 32780 is left now at runway 10.
That's good.
And as you can see, it's a pretty day. You can see the precipitation starting to build just a little bit.
All right, you have the controls. So make sure you keep an eye on this. If it goes up, you want to push down a little bit, and there's a little bit of a lag.
Flight traffic, white stock, 290, Pop Echo is turning 2 mile final for runway 9 flex.
Now, whenever I hand the controls over to the passengers that I'm flying with, I try not to give them too much to think about, so I usually direct their attention to only one instrument at a time.
Doing perfect.
Alright, Gold traffic, Papa Cherokee 10 miles to the southwest for runway 6, make 1.
And what's great is in a few seconds, you'll be able to see how focused she is on checking the vertical speed indicator to stop fluctuations.
Lake Wolf Sky 1, you got anybody jumping right now? Flight traffic, white traffic, to the north.
And it looks like we got a little bit more rain coming. So I'm going to take the controls.
All right.
You hold that. And we're going to head back, okay? Because I don't want to fly in the rain. I'm sure you don't either.
Yeah.
So at this point is when we decided to go ahead and turn back around, because there were a couple of things. It started to rain just a little bit, and also with the time of day and the fact that it was cloudy, it was going to start getting darker a little bit before sunset, so we didn't want to take a chance of having to make it back after it started getting a little bit dark.
Sometimes when things like this happen, we got to cut a flight short, you know, just to be safe, so it is what it is. What's great about these airplanes when you're flying in the rain, first of all, you know, the propeller helps to wash off the windshield, so visibility is not that bad. And then you have great visibility out of the side window.
Oh.
So, you know, if you're flying and you ever get nervous because you can't see what's directly in front of you, you can always look outside, you know, your window to make sure that you're flying straight and level. Of course, you look at your instruments and you make sure you're flying straight and level. You make sure you're going in the direction that you intend to go. Yeah, it looks like it's raining a little bit more that way. So you can go ahead and take the controls again. You can fly us back to the airport, which is going to be a little bit to the left. So go ahead and make a little bit of a left turn. And remember with the airplanes, yeah, you turn it and then you straighten it out to stop the turn and you keep it level, and it will keep that turn for us. I'll tell you when to straighten out, but you keep making that turn. It's perfect.
Hey, Ballpark traffic, Cherokee 550, inform 3 mile left base 10, full space on.
I absolutely love flying with my daughter. She's an excellent student.
Oh, that's good. You're actually doing fine.
Yeah, Lake Wolf traffic, Papa Cherokee 4 miles southwest before runway 6 over Franklin Field. Lake Wolf.
I'm going to make a call. I have the controls. Holly Country traffic, Cessna 60333 is 2 miles to the northeast. We'll be joining the left downwind for runway 36, Pilot Country. I'm going to start a descent. I'll give you this again.
I love how when I took the controls without announcing that I had the controls, she looked at me and she didn't release the controls until she heard me say that I had the controls, which is something that I taught her early on.
In fact, just to make things a little bit easier on us, actually no, we're going to do the pattern and land runway 36, it's fine. Pilot Country traffic, Cessna 60333 is on the left crosswind for runway 36, Pilot Country. Okay, so the runway is right there. If you can't see it, just beyond the wing strut. Get over there. Okay. And we have a little bit of a wind actually coming from the east, so we're going to go ahead and start our downwind. Pilot Country traffic, Cessna 60333 is turning left downwind, 36, Pilot Country.
So since we had a direct crosswind to the runway, we actually had options. We could have either landed runway 18, which would have made things a little bit quicker, but I decided to do the full pattern just for myself for some practice, and go ahead and land to runway 36.
At 1,000 feet, so we'll level off.
Marion County, Lake Walls traffic, Harbor Cherokee, over Lake Walls at 2,200, turning north, Lake Walls.
One of the easiest ways to find Pilot Country when you're coming from the north is finding this really nice cluster of houses that you can see just left of the cowling right now.
It's a short flight, but we got up. That's always a good thing.
A bouncy house.
Oh, you see one from up here?
Yeah.
That's funny. Back. Thank you. Oh, I see. Yeah, we're turning in a little bit, so.
Something that I noticed is that we were converging towards the runway a little bit because I was overcorrecting for the crosswind, so I had my ailerons turned in just a little bit. So I just wanted to correct and give us a little bit more space for our base turn.
So we are abeam the threshold. There's our runway over there. We're right at the end of it, so we're going to start preparing for our landing. We're 80 miles per hour is good. Going to put a notch of flaps in, or 10 degrees of flaps in this airplane. And we're going to start our descent. Pilot Country traffic, Cessna 60333 is turning left base, 36, Pilot Country.
As usual, we were getting bounced around a little bit during the base turn and also the final turn. But here at Pilot Country, because there's so many different textures on the ground, we're flying over trees, we're flying over houses, and we're flying over busy roads. And then, of course, if it gets hot outside, it gets really convective out there, but it's something that you kind of get used to. And with it being a pretty small runway and a small airport, only being 75 feet wide and 3,700 feet long, you know, if you can land at Pilot Country, you can pretty much land anywhere.
Pilot Country traffic, Cessna 60333 is turning final, 36, Pilot Country. At 20 degrees of flaps.
Now this is probably the tightest pattern that I've ever flown for runway 36 at Pilot Country. If you've seen my other videos, I have a tendency to approach high, and I usually take a pretty wide pattern and a long final.
Runway is made.
But this was the tightest that I've flown, and I actually quite enjoyed it, and I think it turned out to be a pretty nice landing once you get to see it here right on center line.
The window for some AC, put the flaps up. Pilot Country traffic, Cessna 60333 is going to back taxi to runway 36 to the right, Pilot Country. I'm just letting them know that we're making a U-turn on the runway because we don't have taxiways here. So we can either back taxi on the runway or we can drive through the neighborhood, which is kind of fun in itself. That red house right there is my friend's house. Just painted it red, it looks like a big barn now.
It does.
We got a little bit of wind coming from the east, so whenever you're on the ground taxiing, you want to turn the yoke into the wind. That way it doesn't have a tendency to lift the wing. It actually pushes the wing down to prevent it from flipping over if we got a big gust.
Okay.
How do you like your little flight?
Nice.
That up there. I'm sorry, baby girl.
Okay. I'm just glad we were able to go at all.
Yeah, me too. But the rain is still coming a little bit, you know, so I prefer it to be a nice, clear, peaceful day for us to enjoy the skies together. But thanks for coming. Oh, and thank you guys for coming too. I know that was a short flight, but you know, I talked about bringing my baby girl up flying and we were able to do it for a little while. We were going to do a gas run to Zephyrhills actually. The fuel at Zephyrhills is actually $1.50 a gallon cheaper than here. So it's worth the little 10 to 15 minute hop over to Zephyrhills Airport to fill up with fuel and come back. Because basically it would practically be making the flight from here to there and back free. So it's worth a little travel, and it's a fun little flight too. Zephyrhills is a cool airport. Pilot country traffic, Cessna 60333 is clearly active. But thanks again for joining us, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. You're helping support aviation by doing so. The sooner I get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of viewable time, you know, the sooner I can monetize and actually afford to take a lot more people up. So help me out by subscribing, liking this video, and we'll see you guys in the sky. Bye-bye. All right, avionics off. Goodbye.